Welcome to the Daily Mastermind, everybody. I'm Paul Baxter here with my cohort, my brother in arms, Mr. Chris Bates. He is on the backside getting the recording going for us. We are here today on the Daily Mastermind kind of doing part two of our FSBO strategy. As you know, yesterday we talked a lot about a for sale by owner marketing strategy for loan officers. It's not just a tool or a strategy that real estate agents can do. It's actually a little bit more of a built-in strategy for you, the loan officer, to generate referrals and leads. But it's kind of a double-barrel shotgun, so to speak, where on one side you're generating buyer referrals and leads directly from the sellers themselves, but on the other barrel, you're able to actually create and generate listing referrals and leads for your referral partners because, as we know, as we talked about yesterday, 60%, 62% is the number that National Association of Realtors states of people that list their home for sale by owner end up listing that home or hiring the professional services of a real estate agent at some point throughout the sale of their home. So the benefit of using a for sale by owner strategy for you, the loan officer, is twofold. I mean, it really can go both ways for you. It's kind of a win-win situation. Now, yesterday, part of what we talked about is providing them with tools to build rapport. That's what it's about. Is, you know, it goes with everything that we do in our marketing. You give them value up front, and then based on that value, you leverage it to develop a relationship or create rapport based on you know, the value that you've given up front. And that's no different than with a FSBO strategy. We talked about having certain things and going above and beyond what the typical person would do. And so that's what we're going to kind of follow up today, are the actual tools that you provide to them, the things that you would hand them to differentiate yourself and make yourself stand out from the crowd. The goal is to build rapport, and to build rapport, we do that by providing value. We provide the single property website. We provide the fan page on Facebook if we don't have access to a single property website system. That's how we build that rapport, is by providing them with value. What doing things like that in advance, you know, not just getting the business from them or having an agreement and then going about it, giving them a result, so to speak, in advance of winning their attention or earning that rapport, it lets them know that you care enough about them. You already see value in what they have to offer, and you care about that value enough to have gone the extra mile, to go above and beyond what anyone else is doing. And what that does for you is those extra steps help differentiate you. That's what allows you to stand out above the crowd. And so when we talk about, yesterday we discussed, you know, the different websites where you can go and find for sale by owners to be able to target. And when we talked about that yesterday, when you get that, the next step is to build, provide them something that is a tool to help them market their listing, whether it be a single property website through the agent marketing system, or the alternative to that, if you don't have a system like that, would be the Facebook fan page for their listing. Either one, by showing them that you're willing to do that before, you know, going in. You've already done this. Here, check out what I can do for you to help you. It's differentiating yourself. It's allowing you to stand out above the crowd, and at the same time, it's showing that seller that you see value in what they have to offer and that you're willing to go that extra mile. The thing that you have to remember going into it is that you've got a valuable service that you're providing to the FSBO, because they probably, up to this point, quite honestly, the only people that have called them other than a potential buyer have been people. You're probably the only one that's been helpful so far. You know, most of the other people, everyone else that's contacting them, all they want is to list their property, and that's what they keep hearing about. And you got to remember that what you're calling about is something that's valuable to them, that you're offering to do for them, and you're probably the first person that's offered them to do something for them in the sale of their home since the beginning of when they chose to list their home for sale by owner. And so you're a loan professional. You're not a real estate agent calling you. The FSBO who doesn't necessarily, they've chosen to list their home for sale by owner for, there could be a number of reasons, but the main reason is that they don't want to lose out on the commission. They don't want to pay a commission to sell their home. They feel as if they can do it themselves, at least at this point. Right now, today, their home has got a for sale by owner sign in the yard. You found them on forsalebyowner.com, or you saw it on Craigslist this morning. As of right now, today, they don't feel they need the services of a professional real estate agent. And so they're not interested in getting those calls. They're not interested in talking to that person, but you're a loan professional. And the reality of the situation is they probably have very little idea on how to guide a potential buyer into securing financing for purchasing the home. And so they do want to hear from you. They need your help. And you're going to discover throughout the materials that you're going to provide them and the way that you approach them, you're going to present to them that they need your help even more because of the screening process and getting people pre-approved as opposed to just allowing every Tom, Dick, and Harry to come through the front door of their home, okay? And you'll paint a very vivid picture to that. So providing the tools to the FSBO seller and developing rapport as a person who can help them with selling their home because you're providing these cool tools, what you do is you become that trusted person. You're the person they turn to for help when that happens. Now, knowing in the back of your mind that 62% of FSBO sellers that you speak with are going to need the professional help of a real estate agent eventually, you're going to, by staying in constant contact with for sale by owners, you're going to always have two things coming. Out of the left barrel, you're knocking down buyer leads because that FSBO, that seller, is giving your card out and asking people, to come in. I'd love to show you the home. What we do to protect our family is we have a nice, we get you pre-approved to know who we're working with and who we're dealing with. We'd love it if you'd give our friend a call. Give Jeff a call over at 55512. He'll get you pre-approved. He'll let me know when that's done, and we'll set up a time for you to walk through the home. Is that fair? That protects my family. I mean, it's a very simple thing. But the reality is the other side of it is some of those FSBO sellers over time, they're going to say, I'm just over this whole process. I don't have time to meet with people all the time. Do you know anybody that would be able to help me sell my home? And now you're getting that referral or lead for a listing that you can bring back to your referral partners. And referral partners that you're bringing listing leads, you're bringing a bona fide listing lead to them. Guess what they want to do? They want to work with you. They absolutely want to work with you because you're a person that's actually generating revenue for them, and they want to keep you as happy as a clam because you're generating money for them. They love it that you're referring them business, and they'll do anything to keep that happening, just like you will. So it's important to know that there's two sides to the FSBO strategy, and understand that the FSBO does want to hear from you. They get approached by agents all the time, but they never get approached by the loan officers. And the loan officer is who they could actually use some help from. So it's a benefit to you, and it gives you those referrals and leads on the listing side when they do choose that they need a professional to help. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to start by setting up your property website or your fan page. And we talked about that yesterday. We're not going to go back into it. But remember, we talked about setting up a for sale by owner property on the agent marketing system or listing booster or any single property website system that you have. Set that up in advance. If you don't have access to that, go through the steps and procedures from our single property fan page class that we did on the Top Producer Interview a couple weeks back, and go through and create a single property fan page on Facebook. It's 100% free. You don't need to have any special systems to do that. Very simple, very easy. Have that stuff set up first. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to set up your actual toolkit. And inside your toolkit, you're going to have several things. The first thing is a property flyer. Remember, if you've got the agent marketing system or the listing booster system, that has the pre-made flyers already done for you. It makes it quite easy for you. If you don't have that, you can utilize PowerPoint to create a custom-made flyer. It's very easy to do. You can insert an image, you put some of the property particulars in a text box, you give it some flair with color and things, you add contact information at the bottom for the seller themselves. You can even, if you're developing these flyers for them, you can even include your contact information for financing, for the quickest financing and to get pre-approved. For a showing, contact this person to get pre-approved, and so on and so forth. So it's very easy to create a flyer inside of PowerPoint if you don't have a system to do that for you. Okay, and let me know. We can, I'm more than glad to, early next week or sometime we can do a class just on PowerPoint on how to utilize PowerPoint for everything from postcards to greeting cards to direct mail campaign to flyers and presentations and everything in between. Really, really good stuff. Infographics you can create right there inside of PowerPoint as well. Really, really diverse program that you can utilize for a lot of different things. Be happy to show you that stuff. Flyers is one of them, and they're easy enough to do. The next thing you want to have in your marketing, your FSBO marketing toolkit, is the buyer prospect sheet. Now, you don't have it in your possession, but I'm going to take a quick second and show you guys here. When we end today's presentation, in just a couple of minutes on the PowerPoint, I'm going to go through each and every one of the items that you don't have in your possession yet, show you how to get them, show you what they look like and how to use them. When I say just a moment ago, the buyer prospect sheet, that is the buyer registration sheet, and I'll provide that for you in some additional items. So bear with me. I know that question's getting ready to come up. Where do I get the buyer prospect sheet? I'll get that for you in just a couple minutes, and we'll go over it top to bottom. That's going to be included in your FSBO marketing toolkit. Now remember, we talked about it yesterday. How do you get their attention? How do you get that seller's attention? We talked about having a potted plant or maybe a vase with some flowers in it. We talked about going to Walmart and buying the oversized shoe and sticking your toolkit materials inside of the shoe and leaving that by the door. Something that's going to catch their attention. Okay, a toolkit could be, you could maybe go and get a cheap toolkit from the dollar store. They've got those little toy kid toolkits. You could maybe leave one of those on the doorstep with the materials that I'm describing now as well, and you can say that's your FSBO marketing toolkit with the little tool package. There's lots of different ideas you can do to differentiate yourselves, but these are the items that you want to put in there. That property flyer, the buyer prospect sheet. You're going to put in there what we call a helpful facts sheet. And what that is we'll go over it top to bottom in just a minute, but it's a sheet that breaks down things that, 7 different items that they really need to know about when they're selling their home for sale by owner. Here's some things that just little helpful hints that you need to know about. A sales contract. A lot of times that's a big dilemma for the FSBOs is, well, how do I write up this sale? I know, real estate agents have these elaborate, professionally made sales contracts that are 5 and 7 pages deep and it outlines. Well, how does the FSBO come up with one of those? You're going to swoop in as the FSBO marketing guru, and you're going to provide that for them. And I'm going to give you one that's a very simple one that you can quickly and easily provide to them. It's very generic. It's not editable, but it is very generic. It's a simple, easy, legal sales form. Okay? So you want to include that in your marketing tool, your FSBO marketing toolkit. You're going to include a pre-qualification forms. How many of us on the call have a pre-qualification form that they can print out? I need to know that information. Anyone? Anyone? Do we have pre-qualification, pre-qual forms? Like if I go to your website, I've got the pre-qual form right there on your website. Can't we print that out and make that into a printable form that we hand and include in our toolkit? Because I'm going to tell you that's not one of the things that I have available for you, because I have one but not posted anywhere. It doesn't need to be posted anywhere. It needs to be printable, and I don't have one of those, a pre-qualification form. I thought that for sure you guys would have one, so we'll find one when we're done here, and we'll include that in the pack. But you have to have something that they can hand to a prospective buyer. You know, oh, well, you know, here's a pre-qualification form, get that filled out, or call my good friend Jeff and he'll get you pre-approved. You want to have something like that. Our pre-quals are client specific. Is there not just a form that, I mean, I understand that a pre-qual is client specific, but isn't there a form that they would, you know, a basic form, first name, last name, current address, current income, just some basic questions that give you an idea, that kind of gets that person to what you want to do with the pre-qual form. And the way that I look at it is, it's a thing that you put in front of, or you hand to a potential buyer, that gets them to make that initial commitment. You know, you get them to put their name and their address and make a signature on the bottom of something that says how much money they make per year. That's an initial commitment. It may not be a pre-approval form. It may not be your full application. But what you're getting from that, from the potential buyer, is subconsciously they're making an initial commitment. And most people, once they've committed to something, they're going to go in that direction until it causes pain or strife in them. Now, as a good loan officer, you take that initial commitment, which is nothing more than their name and what their income is, to give you an idea that they're a serious buyer for you. But you now take that and you can guide them, and if you're selling properly and you're in front of them, you're doing the proper follow-up, you can move that from that little basic form into a pre-approval app and a full application very, very quickly and easily, because they've made that initial commitment to them. And that's exactly, okay, so you're reiterating my point here, Joy. She says, we have a commitment to excellence pre-approval form, which can be used, and that's what that is. That's what I'm talking about, is that commitment to excellence. What you're doing is you're getting that, you're putting that word commitment in their mind, and when they're signing that, that's that initial commitment. They're putting their signature or their information on something, and that lets you know, okay, this is a serious buyer. But at the same time, subconsciously for them, they've given you something, and now they're ready to, you know, in their mind, they've committed to something with you. And with proper sales technique and doing the right thing, and, you know, doing the commitment to excellence steps that you guys have, that moves them down the path very smoothly, very easily. We can look for one. I highly recommend, if we don't find a good one that you want, very quickly make a little form, and I don't have that for you on the pre-qual form, because I thought that you guys would have something that would be just a name, address, current income, sign here to, you know, to find out, just a preliminary. I'm sure you've got to disclaim the heck out of that. That may create a RESPA issue, which is why that form is not available to everybody. And if that's the case, skip that step or use a full application, or a, you know, like Joy said, they've got the commitment to excellence pre-approval form, so they would use something like that. Number 6, include business cards. Now, we talked about doing it yesterday, where we put a business card sticker, a sticker on the back from Avery's 5160, our little stickers, and they fit perfectly on the back of your business card. Now, you can edit and you can create images, and you can actually, using the 5160 template, you can put a little thumbnail picture of the home, of the seller's home, and some vital information: 3-bedroom, 2-bath, you know, 2,000 square foot, call for appointment, and it has the seller's number or your number on it. You can put that on that little sticker and put it on the back of your business card. That would ensure that those people are going to hand it out at the door, even if it's your card, because it's their home that's on the other side of it. Very, very powerful thing to include that sticker on the back of your business card that has their home information on it. Very powerful it first of all differentiates you as anybody else, because not very many people think about that. And the second thing is it ensures that they're going to hand your card out because it's got their home on it. Very cool thing to do. You're going to hand them, you're going to include in your FSBO marketing toolkit a FSBO safety tips. Now there's 13 safety tips on there. It's very basic stuff. It's no big deal kind of stuff, things that the FSBO has probably already thought about. But because you're the one providing it, it again brands you as that expert. It brands you as that caring person that's going above and beyond. And it shows your professionalism that you've got all these different things in place for your FSBO marketing toolkit. It shows a level of professionalism. And then the last thing you're going to provide is number 8, not 7, how to pack like a pro. And again, it's just a little document that's got 7 or 8 good tips on there on packing their home safely. It's things that they probably already know, probably already thought about it, but because you're providing it in your FSBO marketing toolkit, it shows a level of professionalism. It shows that you've thought this through and you've planned this out. This isn't just a willy-nilly thing, and that you're professionally trying to help them sell their home for sale by owner. You want them to be helped, okay? So those are the tools that you're going to provide. So now let's go look at these tools and what they actually look like. That's not it. I want to come into here, and we'll just kind of start from the top. The first one we talked about, remember I told you there is a buyer registration sheet, and all it is a basic document that you're going to provide to them that is a buyer prospect sheet. Very, very basic, and this is your FSBO marketing tools. Now you can change some of this. This is completely editable. If you want to put FSBO marketing tools brought to you by James Bukovic, phone number 555-1212, you can absolutely do that. This is completely editable. But this is your FSBO marketing tools. You're providing them with a buyer prospect sheet, name, address, phone number, email. That's the basics, and you would instruct them on how to use this. If anybody comes to your door and they're interested, you put them on the buyer prospect sheet. You get them. We do a pre-screening to make sure it keeps my family safe. I'm sure you can understand that, Mr. Buyer. Absolutely. Great. Let me get your information, and I'll have my good friend Joy give you a call and get you pre-approved so that we can get you into the home and take a tour and show you what a wonderful home this is. So you can lead them down that path. And this is the buyer prospect sheet. Again, this is going to be yours. This will be uploaded with the recording of today's class with the PowerPoint. This will be a document that is downloadable right there with it. This is yours to keep. Again, completely editable. You can make this your own in any way, shape, or form that you want to. Okay? And bear with me, I need to move this baby just a little bit so I can open and close these things. There we go. All right, the next one is the FSBO sales contract. Remember I told you we got the FSBO sales contract for you. Now it's a PDF form, not editable. It's just an agreement to sell real estate. It's a very basic form. Leaves a lot of blanks. Blank of this as seller and blank of, and you're talking about the buyer there. Hereby agree that the seller shall sell and the buyer shall buy the following described property upon the term. It's a very, very basic form. It's got some disclaimer information in there. This is yours. Just provide this to them. They may not use it. But again, what you're looking to do is you're showing a level of professionalism. You're showing a level of professionalism that you've thought this through, that you've come prepared, that this is not your first rodeo, that you provide these tools to FSBOs locally, because what you're doing is you're branding yourself as the local FSBO guy. You're saying, I'm a FSBO specialist. That's what you're kind of doing. And so you're showing, again, that level of professionalism with that contract. So you would provide that. Again, this will also be included available for you to get, download, make it your own. It is not editable, but it is downloadable. It becomes yours. That's something you can print and include with your FSBO marketing toolkit that you provide to the seller, with your toy tools, or with your giant shoe, or with your potted plant, or with your flowers in your vase. Whatever it is that you've chosen to get their attention with, you would include this with it. The next one are the helpful facts to be aware of. Remember, we said include this as well. Here's some helpful facts to be aware of. Pricing. Setting the price correctly is very important. If it's too low, you will leave money on the table. If it's set much too high, the buyer may lose interest because overpriced properties don't sell and soon acquires a stigma that makes selling difficult. Something to be aware of. Exposure. In today's market, it's important to have your home listed on as many websites and classified sites as possible. 97% of home buyers search online listings prior to going out looking for sale signs. Use the different multi-listing services such as ForSaleByOwner.com or Owner.com are essential to exposing your listing to the most amount of potential buyers. Again, showing your expertise, branding yourself as an expert with the FSBO. Screening. Here's your first opportunity to lay the groundwork of why it's important that you be part of their team, you be part of the FSBO. Screening. Professionals routinely screen prospective buyers and show properties only to those who are qualified to buy. FSBOs must also have the ability to screen prospective buyers. Having a good mortgage lender to contact can help you with this process. You see what I did there? I'm providing helpful tips and hints, but I'm also laying the groundwork for why it's important, why a loan officer would be important in this whole thing. Oh, yeah, I never really thought about it. They can get that loan officer to screen these people before letting them in my house. Then you go right into safety. Protecting yourself and family is very important. Never show the home at odd hours or to unscreened strangers. Remember, we just talked about screened, so saying that in the very next verse or the very next tip reiterates that fact. Never show it at odd hours or to unscreened strangers. Do a simple Google search to ensure there are no issues with the person you are allowing in your home. The screening process above can go a long way in terms of safety. Reiterating the fact that the screening process, getting with the loan officer to get them pre-approved so that they're only showing the property to qualified buyers, gives them that safety as well. Availability, make yourself available for showings as often as you possibly can. Some buyers may be impatient. If you are unable to answer the initial call from a potential buyer, always call back as soon as possible. It lets any serious buyers know that you are also a serious seller. Speed. Speed depends on the current market and pricing you have decided on. While homes listed by real estate professionals do sell faster than homes sold by owner, the speed is more dependent on the current market. So what I've done there is I've laid the very first groundwork that maybe a real estate professional, may be helpful in getting their home sold at least faster. Question coming in, is there any liability for us completing the screening for the seller? Now, when I talk about screening, James, what you're doing is you're doing a pre-approval, not a pre-qual, a pre-approval. Remember, we've talked about that with Chad several times on several of our Top Producer Fridays, where what the difference is of having a pre-approval versus a pre-qualification. And what we're setting up in terms of screening is exactly that. We are offering to do a pre-approval for them. And you're a licensed mortgage lender in the state of Pennsylvania, my friend. You are very licensed and able to do a pre-approval for any person seeking financing for any property that happens to be for sale, no matter who the seller is. So, in my opinion, no. But like other screening, if you're not doing a background check or those kind of things. You're doing a big screening, meaning can they afford to buy this home? Do a pre-approval, and that's the screening that you'll do. Cool. And then the last one is salesmanship. It is sometimes difficult to attach ourselves emotionally from things that we love. Our homes are one of those things. It is important to stay neutral during negotiations. This is a big one to be aware of. Now, what will happen with that is they'll be conscious of that once they read it, and it'll happen to them sometimes. And if it does, they'll call you and say, hey, can you help me with the negotiations? You know, I'm really not licensed to do that. Would you like me to bring in a real estate professional to help you with that part? There's another opportunity for you to introduce the opportunity of a referral or a real estate professional. You're not pushing the issue. You're doing it very softly, but you're putting the ideas in the back of their head. Make sense? So that's the helpful facts that you're going to include in your packet. That's your helpful facts sheet. I already showed you the sales contract. We talked about the pre-qualification form. Let's see if we can find one. Mortgage pre-qualification form. Do we got one? There's one right there. That's Virginia Housing Development Authority mortgage pre-qualification form. That one looks a little bit more robust than what I was actually thinking of. We'll come up with something, guys. I'll come up with something, and Joy said she sent me over what she's got, so we'll see if I'll take a peek at that and see if I can come up with something really good for you guys that's a done for you. But if you've got something already, include that. Business cards, we were just talking about that. Again, if you need to, here's how you do it, guys. You do a Google search for Avery 5160 template, right? So there's my Avery view templates, quick search, Avery 5160 template right here. Is it not showing it? It's showing too much stuff here. I don't want all that. Product or key 5160. $51.60 template. Let's go to why am I not finding it? No. Maybe that's, hold on, let me start over. It's really simple to find normally. I'm surprised. Avery 5160 template. No. Yes. That's what I wanted, the first one that was up there. So there was the template. Lines, design, address, labels, 30 per sheet. This is the 5160. And so download template. Oh, my pop-up blocker is probably blocking it. I see it now. Let me do this. Always allow. Hold on, bear with me. Always allow. Done. Now download. Thank you. Oh, goodness. It just wants my info. No, don't send me Avery emails as well. I'm using Chrome. There it goes. There's my Avery 5160 template. It just downloaded, so I'm going to open it. No, I don't want ask.com. Thank you, though. Uh-oh, that's what I was trying to do. Goodness gracious. Where is my template? Why is it not giving? Oh, that's a extension. Where is my? Why is it not giving me just the regular old lined template like it used to? That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted is these. Hold on. I don't want to have to thumb through all this. I want to find 5160 quickly. $51.60 labels. See what this is. It's not allowing me to download. Why is it asking me to do this toolbar? Okay. It makes you keep this ask.com. Now it's that open template. Oh, all I had to do was say no thank you. Well, there's the template itself. Now building it out is pretty simple once you've got it. Sorry it took a minute to get it, but it's pretty simple to do once you've got it. Let me go back to this page. And we'll pull up the property website. There we go. Let's pull up the property website real quick. And we'll go there. And we've got kind of a cool picture right here that we can use. What I've noticed before, though, is if you come to the Tools menu and you go to the Flyer Picture Sequencer, it already gives you all your pictures in a thumbnail size. So now I can actually just come in and make a Jing image of this thumbnail size right from here. I'm going to capture that, I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to bring that back over to my template, and I'm just going to kind of paste it on in there. Now I can move that around. Now this is the wrong template to do it, but I can move that around. Now I can come over here and I can insert a little text box, right? And start typing in 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Uh, 2,200 square feet. Call for more info. 555-1212. That's why it's important to get the right template, because this one it's just setting up this template is bothersome, and you can do that. The 5160 is a little less bothersome. Just use Internet Explorer. But with the 5160, it fits a little bit better. These are a little small for what we're trying to do. It's a little bit larger label than the one I ended up downloading. But then you just make your template, your business card stickers, and stick that on the back of there. Now and you're in good shape once you've got, putting your business card stickers right there on it. The next thing you've got in the FSBO kit, or your FSBO marketing toolkit, is the FSBO safety tips. Now, FSBO safety tips, it's a lot like the things to look out for, but you're giving them 13 basic safety tips. Schedule appointments. Don't allow people to just ring your bell at any hour for a showing. Instead, have them phone ahead to make an appointment. Take their name, phone number, call them back. For the schedule, add them to your prospect buyer list. Make sure you ask them to get pre-screened. Give contact lists to others. These are the basic things to make sure that they're doing. Again, not things that they haven't probably thought of already, but because you're providing them, it's branding you as an expert. It's showing your level of professionalism, that this is a thought-through plan of action, not just something that you've come up with, okay? And there's 13 of them here. Just have it as part of the kit that you include with it, that you include with your kit. And then the last item that you're going to shove in there, well, not the last item because there's one more item after this, but how to pack like a pro. And what how to pack like a pro is exactly the same thing. It's just little helpful tips that will help them, brand you as an expert. It's well thought out. It shows that you've got a plan. It shows that you've thought this through, and it shows your level of expertise. You can save a lot of money if you pack, the bulk items, do a lot of the packing yourself if you're hiring movers. The heavier items, put in, the smaller, the heavier, the smaller the box it should occupy. Make sure heavy items are in one box. Don't try and overpack. When you're talking of wardrobe boxes, you can include some shoes in the bottom of them to save room, but don't overpack those. You should never let the movers pack your jewelry or your precious items. Include those with yourselves. It talks about, there's a little section on the items that packers will not remove for you. Things like propane and live items. They won't take hazardous materials, things like that. It lets you just know kind of the ins and outs of moving. Nothing serious, nothing that there's nothing earth-shattering here. But it shows a level of expertise. It shows that this is a well-thought-out plan and that you've put things in place. You understand what the whole process is, and you've thought about each piece to that puzzle, right? And then the last item that you're going to include is your personalized letter. And this is something that's going to be a little different for each one. You're going to tweak it a little bit, but the personalized letter is basically the same for each. And it's important to know what you're saying. It's important that you guys see how this letter works and how it can lead to that easy follow-up or even a phone call directly towards you. Hello, home seller. Selling a home can be frustrating, and if your home is still on the market, I'd like to offer my assistance as the local FSBO marketing guru. I am not a real estate person. I am a loan professional, and I have fantastic marketing tools for the for sale by owner home seller. I would be glad to share them with you. In big bold letters, it won't cost you a penny. Very important to get those. So in the first line, I've done a couple of things. I've told them it's not going to cost them anything, but more importantly, I've let them know that, hey, you know, I understand that selling your home for sale by owner could be a little frustrating, but I am here to help, right? That's the first thing. Next, I let them know, hey, I'm not a real estate person. I'm not trying to list your home. I'm not real estate guy. I'm loan guy. But that I also have some really fantastic tools to help them market their for sale by owner. I want to help them sell it, and it's not going to cost them a thing. And I'm willing to share it with them. I personally feel, and I throw it out there, you know, I don't have any ill will towards the FSBO. You know, a lot of real estate agents will give a little bit of attitude towards that. They're trying to take money out of my pocket. Well, as a loan officer, why are you targeting FSBOs? You're taking money out of my pocket. Actually, I'm trying to help you, Mr. Agent. FSBOs are tired of being approached by real estate agents, but still 60% of them are going to list with one of you. What if I got in there on the back door first and made friends and created a report and created a happy FSBO seller, that the frustrations are the same. It doesn't change anything with the frustrations, and then they decide they're going to list. I'm a trusted ally, and now I'm referring to you. Now we're generating business working on a similar strategy. So the next line is, I personally feel that anyone who can find a qualified buyer, complete the complicated paperwork process, and get through to a successful settlement and still save himself or herself some money should absolutely do so. I am a mortgage consultant. Again, I reiterate that fact. And I know what it takes for prospective buyers to get home mortgages. I can help you screen out those house hunters who are really not motivated to buy your property. At the same time, you can get approval for your hottest prospects. With a pre-approval, you know your buyer has the financial ability to purchase your property. That helps ensure you and your family's safety. Realtors insist on this type of assistance. Why shouldn't you? Painting a very vivid picture there, right? Drawing a picture that they can physically see in their mind's eye. I can even show you how to structure the financing so that you could market your home to assist potential buyers without cutting your asking price. Would that benefit? I mean, you're painting the picture and showing them benefits. You're a trusted friend now, right? Please go through the very helpful materials in this for sale by owner packet, as I specialize in working with FSBOs. I know selling any property in today's complex and changing market is difficult. At some point, you may need assistance of a mortgage professional. That's where I come in. I want you to be successful, and I will help if you will let me. You might be wondering, why should I want to help you free of charge? Several reasons why I want to help. If you do sell your home yourself with my help, you might recommend me to your buyer and or use me on your next purchase. There's benefit one. So I'm putting it right out there for them. I'm telling them exactly why I'm doing this. Again, part number two, if you do sell it yourself with my help, perhaps you will refer someone to me that needs real estate financing help or even refinancing. If you sell it yourself with my help, perhaps sometime in the future you will think of me for other real estate mortgage needs you have. If you do not sell it, I have local contacts that will demonstrate their proven success marketing plan to get the property sold for you at the lowest cost possible. That's why I do it. It's no secret. When the time comes to sell a home or investment property, a percentage of owners elect to undertake the selling job themselves, bypassing the services of a professional. Some are successful, others are not. I'm here to help increase your odds of selling your home on your own. So I'm telling them I'm here to help them with that process. Good luck in selling your home. If you have any questions about how to handle financing, title work, buyer follow-up, open houses, or how to improve your advertising, please contact me on my direct line, 747-221-6649. I've enclosed several business cards if you'd like to refer prospective buyers to me to discuss financing options. I appreciate the opportunity to be of service to you, and I look forward to helping you turn your next looker into a buyer. Pretty cut and dry, nice easy thing to put on there, but you've reiterated several facts. Now couple that with the things that you've done in advance. They go to the website, they check you out, they look at what you're about. Now you've got a better follow-up opportunity. When you follow up with that seller, they remember you. Hey, I'm the loan officer that dropped off the marketing materials. I'm the one guy that probably isn't asking to list your home, but to help you sell your home yourself. Did you get the materials? That's an easy follow-up for you if you do it with these steps in mind. So that's it. That's what I've got for you today, guys. I see there's a question or two that I have not gotten to. Should we suggest the seller cooperate with selling agents, buyer agents, at the going commission rate of 2.5% in my area? Only if they want to. Typically, the FSBO, Jeff, is trying to sell the home to save on that commission. And so the conversation needs to be had that, you know, keep in mind the length of time that your home is on the market can affect and sometimes in some cases be more than a commission that you would make. But that's something to think about if your home stays on the market for a certain amount of time. Let's help you get it marketed, exposed to more people. Here's what I've done to help you expose it. Here's the sheet for tracking anybody that contacts you on your home so that I can help you do the pre-screening, get people pre-approved, get them pre-approved so that you can do a show with them or a showing with them and feel comfortable with the person in your home is a serious and qualified buyer. Very important to stay safe in this transaction. If a seller needs help with negotiations, should we explain the 3% breakdown on which was one of which was negotiation? I wouldn't explain that yourself, but you can say, you know, that's one of the benefits of having a professional real estate agent is it takes away the emotion of this is my home and you're trying to nitpick. You say you can tell me you're going to have to pull out, that was my kid's room. How dare you knock down the wall in my kid's room? That's the kind of thing that would bring that up, and so you just let them know, you know, that's one of the benefits of bringing in a real estate professional, and it's sometimes worth the 3% commission that you pay to remove yourself from the emotional aspect of the sale of the home or at least the negotiation process, because that's where some, you know, you've got love and you've got time here. Those people don't just yet. They're looking to build that, and so they want to be able to do it for the least amount of money, obviously. Sometimes we allow our emotions to get involved in negotiations. A real estate professional can remove that by removing you from the situation or the negotiation process. It therefore removes that stress and that feeling of apprehension. Make sense? Absolutely. Great. Would you like me to get your information to my realtor partner so that they can help you with the negotiations? Make sense? Awesome, Jeff. I'm glad to hear you're going to work on this strategy. Get them mortgage ready. Absolutely, that's another way to say the pre-approved. I like the idea of calling it pre-approved versus pre-qualified. And I'll say that, you know, I like the idea of saying it, you know, and I can help you get these people pre-approved, not just pre-qualified, but actually pre-approved, and leave it at that and let them ask you the question, well, what's the difference in pre-qualified and pre-approved? Now you get to display your expertise and show them that you know all the ins and outs, and this is why you do it that way, because it gets you further down the road. Now you've got a bigger commitment. Once you've got a bigger commitment, it's more likely to going to be a good deal. It also gives your buyer the opportunity to compete with cash buyers, and it'll give them an opportunity, if you get them pre-approved at a certain amount, you can generally get more money. They're generally gonna offer you what they're pre-approved to, as opposed to offering you a lower amount. So you can kind of sell up that fact. A really, really cool way to do that. That's it, guys. That's all I got for you. We're right at the top of the hour. Hope we all learned something. Great questions. Guys, I cannot tell you, this strategy, a FSBO marketing strategy for you, the loan officer, it's a win-win situation, because two things. Again, you're double barrel shotgunning, where you've got the buyer lead coming out of one barrel, and you've got, ultimately, you will have referrals and leads for your referral partners, your real estate agent partners, at the same time, because ultimately, if you're working this as an ongoing strategy, you're constantly in contact with for sale by owners, and eventually you're going to run into one of those 6 out of 10 that are going to list with an agent, and you're the guy that's developed that rapport and created the relationship to where you're a trusted ally in the sale of their home, and they're going to treat you as you're the guy they turn to for questions, or the girl they turn to for questions, and they'll turn to you for that help too once they make that ultimate decision that they do want to go with a real estate agent, if you've developed that relationship with them. So that's a FSBO marketing strategy for loan officers. I highly recommend it. I'm glad to answer any questions you guys have, or any help that you guys want in putting these things together. Just reach out to me, let me know. I am here to help in any way that I can. Hopefully you learned a little something, and I'm excited to see the results that some of you that are going to implement this are going to get over the next few weeks. Let me know. Love to get the feedback. Guys, girls, have a fantastic rest of your afternoon. We will see you right back here, same time, same place on Monday. Tomorrow is your top producer interview session, so keep your eyes open for your invitation to that, and we will see you on the flip side. Have a great day, everybody.